Welcome to Mind Over Legal Matter, where we approach Florida Bar essays one mindful step at a time. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how there are no shortcuts when studying for the Florida Bar exam. The Florida Bar exam is a 2-day exam. Day 1 is the Florida portion of the exam, and day 2 is the MBE questions. I personally think the Florida portion is harder because there are more subjects to study and it takes time to master them. And that's what this video is about. It's about the fact that there are no shortcuts to this exam and the fact that it takes time to work your way up to mastery in the Florida subjects. So when I work with a student, we don't do shortcuts. We take it slow, we start early, set goals and objectives every few weeks, and then we work slow to build our way up to meeting those goals. And then the last month before the exam is when you're putting everything together. You're flowing with your essays, you're doing better on multiple choice. Perhaps you're learning some new rules because there's nuances, or perhaps you're catching up, making sure you understand the new laws passed in the last year or so, things like that. And the point is that you can't just get there. What you're doing in February or July, you can't get there in one step. It takes many steps and you can't skip steps. You have to do each step. Often, maybe after a month or so of working with a student, they inevitably say, I can't do this. Why can't I write these essays within an hour? It's impossible. And I have to assure them that it's just something that you have to go through and do better each time that you do it. Maybe you can look at each essay as a step and take each step till you get to the finish line. Or sometimes a student will want to skip a subject because they don't think it will be tested. And I call that quote unquote gambling. And I say, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to gamble on what subject might be tested because there are no shortcuts to this exam. In fact, I've had conversations with students when they first meet with me looking for a tutor because they've repeatedly failed the exam. And often we will talk about how they previously studied for the exam. And many times they will tell me that they did not concentrate on a certain subject because they thought it would not be tested. A real recent example would be all the students who did not study family law or did not study adoption because they did not think it would be tested, and then lo and behold, it was tested in July 2023. So my recommendation is don't leave your ability to pass or your chances of passing the exam on taking a chance on whether something will be tested or not. Don't take the shortcuts. Instead, do what it takes to pass. Often I hear that, I will do whatever it takes to pass. But what does that mean, I'll do what it takes? Well, what it takes is diligence, hard work, not giving up, practicing even when you don't want to. It takes prioritizing studying over perhaps other things that you'd rather be doing. And of course, it takes doing the work without trying to take a shortcut, which means that it takes time. And you have to be okay with that, okay with taking one step at a time. I know you can do it. I know that you have a dream in your heart about becoming an attorney, and you can realize that dream by taking one mindful step at a time. Have you ever heard of the idiom, how do you eat an elephant? You do it one bite at a time. And that's saying it's not actually about eating an elephant. It's about how everything seems impossible at first and perhaps overwhelming, but you just start one step at a time and you keep moving forward. I know you can do it. For more resources, please visit mindoverlegalmatter.com or floridabarexamcoach.com. Bye for now.